you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Vou me take it for the year. 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 Take it for the year.
Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. I hope all is well. There was a little profanity in that video, but we're all adults here. I didn't like it any more than you did. But if you haven't noticed, no one is talking about what's really going on. And if you had it within you to watch that entire video, you may have got a little bit, a gist of the memo. If not, I'm going to break it down for you a little bit here. And maybe this video will help you understand what's going on. Now, the guy that decoded this video, that I played a part of his video where he decodes this, he did get a lot right about the September 23rd and stuff, but what those guys and what no one else is picking up on is this whole video is about what I've been talking about. Just like I said in the last video, it is all about the 144 and what's going on and what you must do if you want to live. And you can debate and argue that I'm wrong if you want, but what I just said comes from the mouth of the Most High, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. But notice right here, she's knelt down on the checkered floor, this girl here, just like Seymour was in the movie Little Shop of Horrors. And all around her are 12 children that are wrapped up in barbed wired fence. They got barbed wire fence, and you see this yin yang sign right here? You see this one here has the yin yang sign on it, and they got barbed wire fence all wrapped around them. And over here on the left, you got a buck, a leaping gazelle, leaping deer. In the back, you have a rabbit. All these movies that are related to what I'm talking about, they have a white rabbit. Like when Neo's a good Gnostic movie where someone is in a false reality. His name's Neo, which stands for New Earth Order. But at the beginning of the first Matrix, he's asleep on the desk, fell asleep on the desk, and someone starts typing something on his screen, a message to him, and the message says, "Follow the white rabbit." And just think about Alice in Wonderland. She goes in a hole and she goes into this whole different reality when she follows the white rabbit. But so there's a deer over here, there's a rabbit back there, and there's a blooming flower over here. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or if you caught it before when I let it play. But I'm not for sure who this girl is, but I'm going to go out on a limb, and I feel pretty confident that is speaking about us, the daughter of Zion. Okay? And this is honey around her. She's encircled with honey. And all these other children, they look bleak and dead, basically, but she's full of life. And then if you notice, when she drops the apple, it turns into that flower right there. New creation. That's the lotus flower. But if you look at the hexagrams, there's some of them that have that flower in the middle of it, and it stands for New creation. New creation. And right here, when it comes out, like the camera or whatever, the view comes out of the, let's see if I can get it. The view comes out of the window right here. That says Psalms. It's 23 or 29. I think it's a combination of both. But there's a lightning bolt right there, as what looks like a lightning bolt to me. I would say it's a lightning bolt, but we're going to go read that, and you're going to see that what I've been saying about it all being related and saying the same thing all throughout the scripture. You're going to see, and what you have to do is in all the scripture. Now, you noticed in the beginning, it showed a pair of hands, a puppet master, and it looked like a lady because there was long fingernails, and it had that money, that cash ring on its finger, and it was pulling the strings of George Bush, who had a dunce cap on. I'm not 100% sure of what the meaning, the symbology is of the dunce cap, but I have exposed some of it before, like those Tiffany photos with Beyonce and Jay-Z, where they got the painting behind them that says the cone theory or whatever. There's something up with that, I don't know. But one thing you can take away for sure from Obama and Bush in the beginning of this video was Bush was saying, fool me once, fool me again. And Obama was laughing, and he winked at you. And now I'm pretty sure that something is going to happen. But if you're someone who thinks there's a rapture, that you're going to be raptured, they're laughing at you. If you think that you can stay where you are, you can stay on the sidelines warming the bench, or at home spectating from your couch eating popcorn, they're laughing at you. And I'm speaking with this confidence that I can tell you that. And trust me, I wouldn't, if I didn't know beyond the shadow of a doubt that those ideas that they're laughing at are pipe dreams. They're illusions. They're falsehoods. They're lies that you've been told. And I've learned that primarily from the scripture. Then you supplicate that with all this other information that's all the smoking gun anyone should need. So if you disagree with what I just said, that you can't stay at home, that there is no rapture, that they're laughing at you, that you have to get on the road, if you disagree with that, then bring the evidence, because this is your life we're talking about. This is my life. This is all our lives. But I wouldn't say it if I didn't have the utmost confidence. But notice how, I think we might have missed that part, how it shows the American flag just went through the air, and those towers are falling. So it's like letting you know that America will fall. And I don't know if you've noticed, but it's on its way out. And then when it shows the Statue of Liberty, and notice this little guy right here. He's one of the guys that's up in this tower here in a few seconds. And I think his name's Krishna or like Shiva or something, like the god of destruction, and the other one is the god of war or whatever. But notice the eclipse. Notice him, that guy, waving in. And right here, notice, see the star right there? You see it? And then America falling, okay? And this here is, I think that's basically symbology for the image. Like the image is, it's raised up, and it has the world basically. And I know I've read in some of this, the hexagram stuff, a genie is mentioned. I can't remember what it said, but notice his chin. See the triangle aiming down? And then right there, I'm not for sure, but what just got bombed, I do believe, is the state of Isis Ra-El. And I'm not for sure, but I think this thing here is a scepter. If you guys know what it is, let me know. I don't know. But if it is, I think this is symbolizing Isis Ra-El, because in a little bit, the sun comes twirling up out of there towards the moon in a white robe. But notice, this is the key part. See, these guys, this is the enemy that made this. But I've always said there's rules of engagement, because this is what they're depicting the Messiah doing is exactly what he's doing. Watch. And I know a bunch of times I've heard Gil Bates talk about the upcoming sickness, that it's going to target children. If you look at the murals on the Denver airport wall, it shows the children. I've seen it, and I've seen it in other places too, where the children will be targeted. And that right there, this scene right here, this guy pulls that bow, and that lets me know about the jabs, because look at this kid, he's got a Band-Aid on his head, and he's like a zombie now. There's no one home in this child. And I don't know if that, right there, I don't know if that guy was symbolizing Russia. I don't know. And those parts aren't as key as all this other stuff. Now look. Right there. See the yin-yang sign right there on the ground? And there was one back there, and you saw the 6-pointed star. They're the same exact thing. The yin-yang and the 6-pointed star mean the same thing. They mean dualities. They mean false, an illusion, a false light. Now, that lady right there, she had a tiger on her back. And this year, to these guys, is the year of the rabbit. Next year, 24, is the year of the tiger. And she's got this like a nuclear bomb sign or something on her cheek. And it looks like she maybe has Hawaii on her forehead. But notice, you see her back, and it's the tiger, and this guy behind her, the skeleton, Death, I assume, taps her on the shoulder, and she turns around, and then an explosion happens. Watch. See? But the main thing the main thing that you need to understand from this too or you'll never get any of this. Like I was just saying, there must be rules of engagement, because why would the enemy let the cat out the bag on what the Messiah, what it means when it says that the Messiah, you see, when he said, you'll see the Son of Adam coming in on the clouds, or it'll be like when lightning flashes across the sky. Notice what Messiah's doing. There's the clouds. He's floating on the water. We know that it talks about the flood coming over and over again. Right here. See, he's coming out of the heavens right here, and watch what he does. Did you see that? Let's do that again. Breathing fire. Breathing fire. When it says he comes down out of the heavens, he don't literally come down out of the heavens. And I can prove that to you. It means that the truth, that's where the truth comes from, is from above, from heaven. He come down and he's speaking fire. His feet are on fire. His eyes are flames of fire. That means the truth is burning down the lies. The lies. Exposing all these deceptions. And notice that's a throat he just came to, so he's coming out the mouth. He's coming out the mouth. And you should know what the fish represent. But as he's coming out the mouth, there's beams of light popping open in that tunnel of the mouth, whatever it is. And rocks are falling. The earth is shaking and quaking. And we'll skip past this part a little bit. I'm sure y'all don't want to see that. But, and then it shows this lady. And she's in a prison. But it shows her nakedness. It reveals to us her shame. Light shining on her. The light reveals the nakedness of her. Now them guys, I don't know for sure what they're about, but and then the word, the Lamb, the word, the truth. He comes out and rises above all them people with business suits on. You're gonna see that here in a minute when I read the word for you, but that's what's happening. Anyone who can't let go of their life right now is going to lose it. Abba, this is basically what is happening. Abba saying, I've set before you life and death. Choose this day. If you come and follow my word and the truth, and you follow the word, that means follow it and be all about it. If you come and do that, you ain't gonna have to worry about how you'll eat or what you'll wear or where you'll sleep. I'll take care of you. It's not going to be all rainbows and butterflies. If you live for the truth and you follow his word, you have to understand that this is the time of our trial. If you want that reward, you have to put in the work. And almost all people are saying, we want Babylon. And now a good deal of believers, quote unquote, would fight you basically to the death, in their mind anyway, to tell you that that's not true about them. But push comes to shove, they're not, yeah, they might get on Facebook and post a couple posts here and there, and they might appear on social media that they are all about it. But there's some things that they've drawn lines in the sand, and there's some things that they just won't acknowledge. They're only going to go so far in this time, especially. Like I said, he's set before you life and death. In order to get the life, you got to go all the way. You should have been following the Lamb, the truth, the Word, wherever He's led you, and He would have led you to where I am right now, telling you about going home, and you're going to see it. Don't take my word for it. Let the Word show you. I'm just telling you what you're going to see, because I'm going to read it to you here in just a second. You should be following it, and you should know what I'm talking about. And then if you know, you should do. You have to be a doer. You got to do what I'm talking about, what the Bible's talking about. And you should be given all esteem. There should be no paganry and no self. You shouldn't be someone that likes to tell people and let people know that you know everything, and that or if someone asked you, if you're talking about scripture, if you're someone that says, oh, I've read that before, I know what it says. If you say that, that's the opposite of humility. That's pride. This word is a living word. It is like a blossoming flower every time you open it. Every time you open it. Every time I read it, I learn something new. Every time. I could read us a chapter right now, and in an hour read that chapter again, and I guarantee you I'll see something new. And it's every time. So, you seen, in the last video, I read for you what it says. It says, this is the one who the Most High looks on. The poor and the crushed in spirit, and those who tremble at His word. So, the word, you see that he's the Messiah is traveling down the river, and fish are hopping into the boat, and when he gets to the end, you'll see he's standing in the sun, and the sun's shooting balls of fire, tearing down the pyramids. There's a scorpion tail, just like the locust in Revelations, with the scorpion tails like scorpions. And I've showed you guys here a few videos back. If you look up what a scorpion bite does, it causes blurry vision, twitching of the eyes, and slurring of the speech. So yeah, I think that thing there is a scepter, and when the planes come in at the beginning of the video, there was like a dome on the rock-like thing, and they dropped a bomb and destroyed it. And now this little kid, who I believe was that one that didn't have a brain, that the image was, I'm pretty sure that's what that was. The image was talking smack to it, and it finally got up and walked away, because it seen the Messiah. It got scared of the word, and it left the kid. And then now he turned into that, and he's spinning above. It looks like it's the Hakal, and he's dressed in white. And like I said, that guy dancing and then the other one that was dancing, that Shiva or whatever, if you look at the hexagram, it talks about them two false gods of destruction and like order or chaos or something. And the light. And the Messiah is born. And see that the flowers that symbolizes new creation. And like I said, the enemy, there has to be rules of engagement, and if you think about it, there would be, because we've read, I've showed you in his word, that he works for the Most High. The Most High uses him. He's the destroyer in the hand of the Most High. But at the end, he will be punished. That's just how it is. Like I said, it's not like the enemy knows that the Messiah, that the Most High wants him to destroy like he does. It's just like he's the destroyer and he let him out the cage to do this work, to gather all the people who would rather stay on the bench, who really don't want it, who laughs at the message I'm sharing with you guys. The enemy, Babylon, all these things, it's a magnet. And that, if you read in the story of the hexagram, it's called the Wanderer, and I'm going to show you that. It's like a magnet, and it attracts all those who are fake. It's like a polar whatever. Anyone who isn't serious and they're full of BS, they will go to that end. Now see that? And when he opened his eyes, the eyes of fire, that church building, I don't know what building that is, but you can see it's coming down. He come out of the mouth, and those flowers were popping up on the water as he was coming to where he is right now. And he's going to be standing in the sun. Now see the scorpion tail right here, right there. And then there's pyramids right here. All right, now let me show you a couple pictures, and then let's go to the Word, and I'll give you all you can handle of proof to back up what I was just saying. But I want to show you this one snippet of an article I got about the demiurge. If you look right here, I'll just read a little bit of the top paragraph. While she herself has already attained salvation, the spiritual substance to which she has given rise was unformed and without gnosis, whatever that means. However, she could not form the spiritual because it was of the same essence as she, whatever. Therefore, she is required to find a place for it to grow to maturity. As the tripartite, whatever that is, tripartite states, his members, however, needed a place of instruction, which is in the places which are adorned, so that they might receive from them resemblance to the images and archetypes like a mirror, until all members of the body of the church are in a single place and receive the restoration at one time, when they have been manifested as the whole body, namely the restoration into the whatever, this where the material world enters the picture. And go read if you want about the demiurge and the mother. Now, in the last video I said I was going to go back and read some of this, read from this book right here. It's the Gnostic Book of Changes, and I can't wait till they're all burned. So don't try and act like or comment and say that I'm in favor of any of this stuff. I'm exposing wickedness right now, and I'm trying to help save your life, and I'm giving honor, esteem, glory, and praise to Abba Yahuwah the Most High. And I'm taking away any that these evil abominations might receive. But you see, this is the 56 transition is the name of a hexagram. See hexagram right there? Right here? That's what this is all about hexagrams and what they mean, what the symbols mean. You can see down here, hexagram number 56, transition. Other titles: the wanderer, the symbol of the traveler, the exile, sojourning, the newcomer, to lodge, to travel, traveling, the stranger, strangers, the traveling stranger, the outsider, the alien, the Gnostic, the Taro fool, wandering, homeless, uncommitted, on your own, can refer to being out of one's element. Now, I think it's the next one here. I want to read a little bit of this stuff that I didn't get to read to you last time. I don't think that's the page. Here the wanderer is camping out, so to speak, occupying a temporary position during a transition. The axe, analogous to the sword or any metallic cutting instrument, can symbolize mental discrimination. The suit of swords is the tarot. The image is one of who is of one who has the power to comprehend his situation and the resources to advance to a new position. The realization is extremely important from a practical standpoint, for it implies that only constant attention to the unconscious and inner devoted tribute is sufficient to enlist its cooperation. The unconscious realms cannot be analyzed away, cannot be defeated in battle, but at best by conscious confrontation. And if you think about it, that's right. If you don't know, you should know this concept. If you don't know who the enemy is, how are you going to defend against him? If you don't know what his weapons are, what he uses against you, how are you going to know? If you don't know what the word truly means, and being how I just said weapons formed against you, that's a great example of most people that I can share with you that will tell you that most, and you might be included in this, don't realize what the word is saying because they don't get the context. Most people will take that one verse and they say it all the time. They say, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. But they don't even know who that is for, who the Most High is telling that to. And it's not just anybody. And I'll show you. So, let's go to this next one. Okay, the Reitzman-Karcher state is explicitly defining our challenge as mingling with others as a stranger whose identity comes from a distant center. This is good general advice for anyone seriously engaged in the work. And the work is what we're talking about here. It's the enemy, Abba using the enemy to tear down boundaries and signposts, landmarks, and create a false reality. But you see, why would the enemy put the hexagram on the flag? Wouldn't you think that he wouldn't want you to eventually find out what the hexagram means, that it means all this, that it's the sign of the mark, it's the sign of sex, it's the sign of the Baphomet. A Baphomet is a hexagram. It's as above, so below. Why would he put that on there? Well, because of rules of engagement, and they know that you ain't going to look. No one cares. And I say it all the time. Just the star alone is a breaking of the commandment, but nobody cares about that. Most of the Torah observant people I know and see, and a lot of these believers, they probably rock all kinds of flags that have stars on them, that represent all kinds of stuff. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't love the people of this country. You should love everyone. And I'm not telling you to have an issue with it, to go to someone and speak out against it, but for you to rock it, it says a lot. We are strangers in this world and the body and the soul, and yet we must not seek to escape by self-murder. I don't know what that means, but I was trying to find this. Where's it? Oh, it's the same thing I read the other day. It says the recollection of his own alienness, the recognition of his place of homesickness is the beginning of the return. The beginning of the return. If he learns its way, okay, the stranger who does not know the ways of the foreign land wanders about lost. If he learns its ways too well, he forgets that he is a stranger, he forgets that he is a stranger and gets lost in a different sense by succumbing to the lure of the alien world and becoming estranged to his own origin. The recollection of his own alienness, the recognition of his place of exile for what it is the first step back. The awakened homesickness is the beginning of the return. Right here is more about the hexagram, the six-pointed star. It explores phenomena that seems to defy conventional physics, such as the dual nature of light and matter, which can behave both as particles and waves. Each triangle of the star represent a different aspect of reality. The other triangle represents the quantum world, a realm where particles can exist in multiple places at once, can be entangled over vast distances, and can shift between states instantaneously. Order and chaos. Okay, I think I've showed you all I wanted to show you there. It's the union of opposites. If you just go and you look at the tree, what they call the tree of life, you'll see that it's all about what we're talking about here. Everything's related, to what we're talking about. All right, now, like I said, when that camera's coming out on that cartoon, it says Psalms 29 or 23, or it might be a combination of both. We'll read 29 first, and you'll see that 23 fits right in as well. Ascribe to Yahuwah, O you sons of the mighty. Ascribe to Yahuwah esteem and strength. So this, I just was telling you, this is the Most High saying, I give you life or death. Which one do you choose? If you choose, if you're afraid to let go and do the things you must do, like walking, get on the highway, looking for the highway, digging in the word to see if these things are true or not. If you can't do that, it's because you've ascribed strength and esteem to something else, and that something else is the enemy. It's Babylon. It's if you don't have Abba and you're not giving him all esteem, it's like a vacuum. The enemy gets any esteem that you're not given to Abba. Ascribe to Yahuwah the esteem of his name. Bow yourselves to Yahuwah in the splendor of his set apartness. The voice of Yahuwah is over the waters, over the truth. The El of esteem thunders. Yahuwah is over many waters. The voice of Yahuwah is with power. The voice of Yahuwah is with greatness. The voice of Yahuwah is breaking the cedars. Yahuwah is breaking the cedars of Lebanon in pieces. He makes them skip like a calf, Lebanon and Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of Yahuwah cuts through the flames of fire, cuts through it. All that stuff that they burnt up, all the evidence to tell you where you were. They have given you all these lies, but his voice cuts through that. The voice of Yahuwah shakes the wilderness. Yahuwah shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Yahuwah makes a deer give birth and strips the forest bare. In his akal, everyone says, all esteem. Yahuwah sat enthroned at the flood, and Yahuwah sits as sovereign forever. Yahuwah gives strength to his people. Yahuwah blesses his people with peace. That's letting you know what you could get. Here's 23. You should know this one. Yahuwah is my shepherd. I do not lack. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He turns back my being, and he leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. When I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. The shadow of death is the covering. It's the lies about the land, about where you are. It causes death. It's part of the abomination that lays waste. I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And that rod, it's a symbol of measuring. He puts the rod over you and measures you and the hakal. You spread before me a table in the face of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup runs over. Only goodness and loving commitment follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Yahuwah to the length of days. Now, if you've been here a while, you should know I've been talking about the 24 and how it's a mirror image of the 42, just like what we've been talking about. And you seen that tiger on that girl's back. And I've been telling you, I've been sharing stuff on here, like the Dago report said that the population of the Western countries are going to drop off by like 2/3, I think. And they were predicting that in 2024, and there's all kinds of other stuff predicting it in 2024. And that's when the eclipse is. But more importantly, the stuff I can relate to you as facts is the 42 stuff. The 42, Title 42 about the southern border being overran with immigrants. It was symbolic. They did it for all kinds of reasons to bring about instability around this place. But at the same time, they named it what they did because it was symbolic. They wanted, it's more rules of engagement. They were letting us know, well, they let me know what was coming, and I saw it from a mile away. Every time they talked about how many migrants come over, like in June or July, how many do you think? 144,000. Yep. And then that 42 I showed you on that movie. Prison 42. Gate 42. It's all related. So right here in 24, Psalm 24, let's see what it says. The earth belongs to Yahuwah and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. There he goes again, letting you know that just because you think you've been told the earth and the world is like, you've been told how the earth lays and what countries which and where you're from and where you're not. They've constructed a false reality. But the reality of the earth, he wants you to know, he likes to remind you that he owns it. It belongs to him and he fills it. For he has founded it upon the seas and upon the waters he does establish it. Who goes up into the mountain of Yahuwah? Who goes up into the mountain of Yahuwah? And who does stand in his set apart place? Who? He who has innocent hands and a clean heart, who did not bring his life to nothing and did not swear deceivingly. Mark of the beast, right there. Mark of the beast, image of the beast. Right there. That's what that is. If the image of the beast and money and everything isn't more important to you than Abba, then you should be given all esteem. You should be diligently searching his word for this truth. You shouldn't be someone who will just go in and pick a verse out like, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. That's part of their of how the world has fallen deeply away. Because if you go in, if someone gives you a verse or you find a verse and you want to read that verse, if you don't go read the context on either side of it, you got no idea what that verse is even talking about. Yeah, it might sound good to you, but without the context, you're delusional. He receives a blessing from Yahuwah and righteousness from the Most High of his deliverance. This is the generation of those who seek him. Jacob, who seek your face, Salah. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and let the sovereign of esteem come in. Who is the sovereign of esteem? Yahuwah strong and mighty, Yahuwah mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates, lift up, you everlasting doors, and let the sovereign of esteem come in. Who is this sovereign of esteem? Yahuwah of hosts, he is the sovereign of esteem, Salah. There's a reason he said that twice. Double doors. Now let's go to 42, because it's the mirror image. And I've done this before, but I'll do it again as many times as I can and as many times as it takes. There's that deer, just like on the video. As a deer longs for the water stream, so my being longs for you, my mighty Most High. Now, you might not believe this, but go try and prove me wrong, that the majority, if not all the times in the scripture, when it mentions a deer or a gazelle panting or longing for water, It's talking about coming home. Watch. My being thirsts for the Most High, for the living El. When shall I enter in to appear before the Most High? My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all day, where is your Most High? And I can relate with that 100%. These I remember and pour out my being within me. For I used to pass along with the throng. I went with them to the house of the Most High, with the voice of joy and praise, a multitude celebrating a festival. Why are you depressed, O my being, and why are you restless within me? Wait for the Most High, excuse me, wait for the Most High, for I shall yet thank him for the deliverance of his face. O my Most High, my being is depressed within me. Therefore I remember you from the land of the Jordan, and from the heights of Hermon. From Mount Mitzar, deep calls to deep. Deep calls to deep, just like those locusts with the stings in their tails. They come up out of the pit of the deep. That means something that's deeply hidden. So what he's saying is just like it says there'll be two women in the field at the millstone, one taking one left. There's two cities. Deep calls to deep. At the sound of your waterfalls, at the sound of your truth, both cities, both hidden realities are coming to light. All your waves and breakers passed over me. By day, Yahuwah commands his loving commitment, and by night his song is with me, a prayer to my Most High of my life. I say to the Most High, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? With murder in my bones, my enemies have reproached me, while they say to me all day long, where is your Most High? Why are you depressed, O my being? Why are you restless within me? Wait for the Most High. I shall yet thank him, the deliverance of my face and my mighty Most High. Now, you can, any of these chapters, anywhere you want to go, that I might come to the slaughter place of the Most High, the joy of my delight. And that it's not talking about just magically appearing or when all this happens that you're just going to get swept away here. You have to make the trek. You have to. Let's go to 48. Great is Yahuwah and greatly to be praised in the city of our Most High, his set-apart mountain. Beautiful on high, the joy of all the earth is Mount Zion on the sides of the north, the city of the great sovereign. The Most High is in her citadels. He is known as her refuge. For look, the sovereigns met. They passed by together. They saw, so they marveled. They were alarmed. They hastened away. Trembling took hold of them there. Trembling took hold of them there, pain as of a woman in labor. With an east wind you break the ships of Tarshish. Have we heard? As we have heard, so we have seen in the city of Yahuwah of hosts. In the city of our mighty Most High, our mighty Most High establishes her forever, Salah. We have thought, O my Most High, of your loving commitment in the midst of your Hakal. According to your name, O my Most High, so is your praise to the ends of the earth. Your right hand is filled with righteousness. That's that word, the Lamb, the Messiah. Let Mount Zion rejoice. Let the daughters of Yehuda exalt because of your right rulings. Walk about Zion, go all around her, count her towers. Set your heart upon her rampart. Go through her citadel so that you report it to the coming generation. For this is my Most High. This, the Most High, is our Most High. Forever and ever he himself leads us even to death. He gives you life or death, and he'll walk you wherever you want to you choose to go. He's not going to force you. You have free will. Chapter 50. El, the Most High Yahuwah, shall speak, and he shall call the earth from the rising of the sun to its going down. From Sion, the perfection of loveliness, the Most High shall shine forth. And you think he's just saying this so you can get a good idea what it's going to be like afterwards? No. He's saying all these things so you'll understand it now. Again, all words, all the way 1,000,000,000% necessary. Our Most High comes and is not silent. A fire consumes before him, and it shall be very stormy all around him. He calls to the heavens from above and to the earth to rightly rule his people. Gather my loving committed ones together to me, those who have made a covenant with me by my slaughtering. Then the heavens declared his righteousness, for the Most High himself is judge, Salah. Hear, O my people, and I speak, O Yasharal, and I witness against you. I am the Most High, your mighty Most High. I do not reprove you for your slaughterings, and your ascending offerings are continually before me. I do not take a bull from your house, nor goats out of your pens. For every beast of the forest is mine, the cattle on 1,000 hills. Excuse me. I know all the birds of the mountains, and all moving in my field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not speak to you, for the world is mine and all that fills it. Do I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? Slaughter thanksgiving to the Most High. Give him all esteem and pay your vows to the Most High. Call upon me in the day of stress. Let me rescue you and you esteem me. And like I said, you have to come, but that is a rescue. If you get this message, he's rescuing you. The word, him putting this word in a book and getting it to you is him rescuing you. Him guiding you, leading you to the set apart place with an outstretched arm, with a strong hand, is him rescuing you. But to the wrong, the Most High said, what right have you to recite my laws or take my covenant in your mouth, while you hated instruction and cast my words behind you? When you saw a thief, you were pleased with him, and you take part with adulterers. You're pleased with him. You're pleased with these people who say they are Yahudim, but do lie. You're pleased with the idea of the Messiah, the twisted lie about who the Messiah was and what he did. Most people are pleased with that. They're pleased with the instructions, the rabbinical instruction that you can put your meat into a box of salt and the salt will suck all the blood out and it'll be kosher after that. When the Most High himself told you how to do it. That don't work. You got to boil, seethen, or sodden. And there's all kinds of things. I can go on and on. But the main thing is that you believe the set apart place, the Hakal, is over there. And for two, you probably have given no thought to actually traveling there or to see where it is. When you saw a thief, you were pleased with him, and you take part with adulterers. You let your mouth loose to evil, and your tongue frames deceit. You speak against your brother. You slander your own mother's son. You have done this, and I kept silent. You have thought that I was altogether like you. I rebuke you. I set it in order before your eyes. Understand this, please, you who forget the Most High, lest I tear you in pieces with no one to deliver. Whoever slaughters praise esteems me, and to him who prepares a way I show the deliverance. You see, I wasn't lying, not one bit. Okay, so here you go. This is Isaiah 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall prove wrong. This is the inheritance of the servants of Yahuwah, and their righteousness from me, declares Yahuwah. The world, they think that verse applies to them, to whoever. All you got to do is whatever you want to do, basically. All you got to do is blaspheme the Most High and his Son and his tent and walk around a walking abomination, basically, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Just more lies that came from that mother of the lies. Let's get the context. Sing, O barren one, you who do not bear. Break forth into singing and cry aloud, you who have not been in labor. For the children of the deserted one are more than the children of the married woman, said Yahuwah. There you go. They're more than the children of the married woman. Enlarge the place of your tent and let them stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. Spare not, lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes. For you shall break forth to the right and to the left, and your seed inherit the nations and make the deserted cities inhabited. Do not fear, for you shall not be put to shame nor hurt. You shall not be humiliated. For the shame of your youth you shall forget, and not remember the reproach of your widowhood any more. For your Maker is your husband, Yahuwah of hosts is his name. The set apart one of Yasharal is your Redeemer. He is called the Most High of all the earth. For Yahuwah has called you like a woman forsaken, and grieved in spirit like a wife of youth when you were refused, declares your mighty Most High. For a little while I have forsaken you, but with great compassion I shall gather you. In an overflow of wrath I hid my face from you for a moment, but with everlasting loving commitment I shall have compassion on you, said Yahuwah your Redeemer. For this is the waters of Noah to me, in that I have sworn that the waters of Noah would never again cover the earth, so I have sworn not to be wroth with you, nor to rebuke you. For though the mountains be removed and the hills be shaken, that's not literal, my loving commitment is not removed from you, nor is my covenant of peace shaken, said Yahuwah, who has compassion on you. O you afflicted one, tossed with the storm and not comforted, see, I am setting your stones in antimony, I can't say that word, I'm sorry, and shall lay your foundations with sapphires. There's them stones again, and we read about them in the last video. He said, talking about Babylon, he said, they will not take from you a stone for a corner or a stone for a foundation. When he said right there, I'm setting your stones, that's for the set apart place. And shall make your battlements of rubies, your gates of crystal, and your walls of precious stones. And all your children taught by Yahuwah, and the peace of your children great. In righteousness you shall be established, far from oppression. For you shall not fear, and far from ruin, for it does not come near you. See, they shall indeed assemble, but not because of me. Whoever shall assemble against you falls for your sake. So I've been telling you that even when you do come here, and this is what you have to do, and I'm praying that as many as possible opens their eyes to this fact that that's what you have to do. But I've been telling at the same time that you got to keep in mind that when SHTF happens, it's going to happen all the way up and even in the city. It tells us that. And that you have to be prepared for that, but you have to know this is part of it, that you trust, you have faith, you walk in trusting him. You walk and trust in him. And when you come here, he's going to spread his tent over you and to protect you. You've got nothing to worry about, but there'll be chaos on all sides and you'll see it. He tells us. But and he says, they shall assemble, but not because of me. Not talking about y'all or us. He's talking about the enemies. Whoever shall assemble against you falls for your sake. See, I myself have created the blacksmith, who blows the coals in the fire, who brings forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. There you go. The enemy, Babylon, he created all of it. All of it. So, he's talking about Babylon, the destroyer, the destroying mountain, which is Satan, the dragon, the sovereign of Samaria, Ashur. That's what he's talking about. So when he goes right to talking about the weapons, he's talking about them, their weapons. Who I've been explaining it, and you should know, who is the destroyer designed to take out? It's designed to take out those who worship the image of the beast. They love and do falsehood. They are wicked and lazy. They are on the bench keeping it warm. They really don't want to go the distance. They're embarrassed. Their job or their lives mean more to them than speaking out the truth, sharing messages like this. And I'm never going to tell you to like, share, and subscribe. That's a joke. But are you telling people about this message? And if you're someone that's saying right now that you're not telling someone about this message, well, why not? And if you try to say that it's because you don't believe this is true, then why ain't you prove to me that that's the case? And if you say you don't care, then that means you don't love me, you don't love your brother or anyone else. So you're giving no effort in all areas all around. But if you see the truth of this, how horrible of a person would it take to see this truth and see how everyone in the world basically is succumbing to these lies? How horrible must a person be that sees this and doesn't share the news and proclaim it from the mountaintop? And if you don't do that, it's because there's something else that's more important. There's something that takes priority, like your feelings, your reputation, the way people look at you and talk about you. If you're worried about getting in trouble, none of that matters. You have to walk your childlike faith out, put it into action. And if you do that, and the destroyer, it isn't your demise, and you've followed the Lamb wherever he leads you, and you've escaped from the sword, then if that's you, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And every tongue which rises against you in judgment, you shall prove wrong. This is the inheritance of the servants of Yahuwah, and their righteousness from me, declares Yahuwah. Anyone in Babylon, that weapon has been formed against you, and you are taking one in the back of the head. You can't dodge them. You're actually enjoying being lit up like that. You don't even see it, because the cares and the lust of this world mean more to you than anything else, especially the truth. If you can't put down the blood, we're permitted to eat meat. You can eat meat every meal if you want, but you got to boil it. You got to get that blood out of there. And if you think that's wrong, go find it in the scripture to where it says that I'm wrong. It actually says all over the place, do not eat the blood with the meat. Abstain from blood. It's up to you, Mishpaka. I've been giving you all the proof, and I'm going to bring plenty more for you until the doors are shut. And because of that, let's go real quick and read Revelations so we can see the outcome of this. Verse 1, chapter 15, and I saw another sign in the heaven, great and marvelous, 7 messengers having the 7 last plagues, for the wrath of the Most High was ended in them. And I saw like a sea of glass mixed with fire, and those overcoming the beast and his image and his mark and the number of his name, standing on the sea of glass, holding harps for the Most High. I've been explaining to you what it means to worship the image and what it means to not, and what that looks like, but it's gonna lay it out cut and dry here for you. There'll be no more question about if you are or if you ain't in that category. And they sing the song of Moshe, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are your works, Yahuwah El Shaddai, righteous and true are your ways, O sovereign of the set apart ones. There you go. He says, I saw a sea of glass mixed with fire, and those overcoming the beast and his image and his mark and the number of his name. And they're standing on the sea of glass. That means truth, transparency, holding harps of the Most High. Harps are symbolic for you dancing because you're coming home, or you're home and you're full of joy. You're singing and playing songs. All those who overcome that are going to be singing the song of Moses, Moshe. That means you leave Egypt, walk on foot, or drive the car, however you got to do it. Get to the set-apart dwelling, Yerushalayim. If you haven't even bothered to look into it, you're not singing the song of Moses. You're not singing the song of the Lamb. You're not on that glass. You have the mark. You've been, you're being lit up by the mark and the image. The song of the Lamb, that's following the Lamb wherever he leads you. That's speaking the truth boldly, all esteem off your face. And saying great and marvelous are your works. That is what I do. And I'm not boasting in myself, I'm boasting in him. I boast in his works and expose the works, the cover up of the removal of boundaries and landmarks. That's what I'm doing. Who shall not fear you, O Yahuwah, and esteem your name, because you alone are kind, because all nations shall come and worship before you, for your righteousness have been made manifest. There you go. There's another reference to let you know about coming home and being at the throne. And after this I looked and saw the dwelling place of the tent of witness in the heaven was opened. And out of the dwelling place came the 7 messengers having 7 plagues, dressed in clean, bright linen, and having their chests girded with golden bands. And one of the 4 living creatures gave to the 7 messengers 7 golden bowls filled with the wrath of the Most High, who lives forever and ever. And the dwelling place was filled with the smoke from the esteem of the Most High and his power. And no one was able to enter the dwelling place until the 7 plagues of the 7 messengers were ended. So the door is going to be shut. And when it shuts, you won't be able to enter. And I heard a loud voice from the dwelling place saying to the 7 messengers, go and pour out the bowls of the wrath of the Most High on the earth. And the first went and poured out his bowl upon the earth, and an evil and wicked sore came upon the men, those having the mark of the beast and those worshiping his image. The rottenness will be exposed. And the second messenger poured out his bowl on the sea, and it became blood as of a dead one, and every living creature in the sea died. If you're outside the city, you're dead. That sea, that's what it's talking about. It's those, all the people who worship the image that didn't come to the set-apart dwelling. And now the gate's shut. If you're out there, bye-bye. And the third messenger poured out his bowl on the rivers and fountains of water, and they became blood. No more will there be streams of truth flowing your way like it is right now. And I heard the messenger of the waters saying, "You are righteous, O Yahuwah, the one who is and the one who was and who shall be, because you have judged these. Because they have shed the blood of your set-apart ones and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink, for they deserve it." And I heard another out of the slaughter place saying, "Yes, Yahuwah El Shaddai, true and righteous are your judgments." And the fourth messenger poured out his bowl on the sun, and it was given to him to burn men with fire. And men were burned with great heat, and they blasphemed the name of the Most High, who possesses authority over these plagues. And they did not repent to give him esteem. They'll think, like the people who believe what I just, this video, what I've been saying is falsehood. They're just like those people right there. They won't repent of blaspheming his name because they don't believe that they are. They think that what they do is justified. And the fifth messenger poured out his bowl on the throne of the beast, and his reign became darkened, and they gnawed their tongues from pain. And I don't think that's literal. I'm pretty sure they gnaw their tongues in pain means that what they're going to be talking about, because the reign will be darkened. And they blasphemed the Most High of the heaven for their pains and their sores, and did not repent of their works. And the sixth messenger poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates. Here we go. Just like it said in Jeremiah. And its water was dried up in order to prepare the way of the sovereign from the east. Jeremiah threw his book in there. Had that guy throw the book in there. That is talking the same thing I'm talking right now. So when that river dries up, it's symbolic to the truth of the matters of the lies have been unearthed. I saw coming out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, 3 unclean spirits as frogs. What frogs remind you of? It reminds me of the Exodus. And if you read in there, it's all about the borders. The frogs were in the borders of Egypt, of Mitzrayim only. They didn't go out around the neighboring countries or whatever. They attacked Egypt and their borders. That's what that is talking about. For they are spirits of demons, doing signs which go out to the sovereigns of the entire world to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahuwah the Almighty. See, I am coming as a thief. Blessed is he who is staying awake and guarding his garments, who's not on the bench, but they're in the middle of the field in the game. Lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And they gather them together to the place called in Hebrew Armageddon. And the seventh messenger poured out his bowl into the air, and a loud voice came out of the dwelling place of the heaven from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there came to be noises and thunders and lightnings. And there came to be an earthquake. Such a mighty great earthquake has not came to be since men were on the earth. And the great city became divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babel was remembered before the Most High, to give her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Now if you go and you read past this chapter, which I'm going to end it right here, you'll see that that's not literal, that the mountains and the islands won't actually flee away. That's symbolic, letting you know everyone's going to know where the real Mount Nebo is, and they're going to know where the fake one is. They're going to know where the real Mount Sinai is. they're going to know where the fake one is, where the real Yerushalayim, the set apart mountain is, and where the BS one is. And those who are going to find out the hard way are going to realize that they were suckers, and they've been laughed and mocked, and they allowed their Most High and his tent and his set apart people to be laughed at and mocked and blasphemed. And they did nothing about it. They didn't care. They didn't believe it. They didn't believe it, but did they go look? No, they didn't look, because they just believe it. They just know. Just like they know what all the scripture says. If you ask them, have you read Revelation chapter 16? They'll say, oh yeah, I've read it. And if you said, well, can I show you this one thing in there? No, I already know what it says. I don't need to read it. I read it a long time ago, and I know exactly what it says. Those prideful people are going to be gnashing and gnawing their teeth. They're going bye-bye. And great hail from the heaven fell upon men, every hailstone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed the Most High for the plague of the hail, because that plague was exceedingly great. Next time I come, we'll touch on 17. And I got some more solid proof for you. Anytime, any place, on my face, giving all praise, all honor, all glory, all esteem to Abba, Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful, wonderful Creator, our righteousness, being led by the Lamb, the truth, the Word, the Messiah, Yahusha, wherever He leads me. You should do the same. Peace out.